Hello, everyone. Welcome to Kiki and Kibitz. It's me, Mary, and I'm coming to you today with a very special interview. You guys definitely recognize the man on my screen. He's from last season before the 90 days. Welcome, Chidi. Hi, Chidi. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so happy to be sitting here talking to you.
Hi, Mary. It's my pleasure being here on your channel.
Thank you. So, let's let's get right into this because we have a lot of things to talk about. I mean, your storyline was very interesting to say the least, and what happened afterwards, the fallout on social media was very interesting. So let's get into it. How did you and Renee originally meet online? Do you remember approximately what year it was?
Yeah, that was 2018. We
Okay.
met on social media, Facebook to be precise.
Okay. And when you first started communicating with her, what drew you to her?
Yeah, the first day we met, honestly, I never knew I was talking to someone from the States. I never knew I was talking to um, a white woman. I didn't even know whom I was chatting with.
Okay.
So, at some point down the chat, she asked me if I do go fishing. And down here, fishing is not something we celebrate. And I got annoyed
Right.
and had wanted to quit the chat. But on a second thought, I continued and stylishly asked her if she does fish, if she does go fishing too, rather. So she started describing where she was, and by the picture she painted, I understood she's not from this part of the world. Then I asked her where she was. She told me she was in New Mexico and in the United States of America. So she told me her name. She told me everything about her, and that was how we continued talking.
So what did you find that you had in common with her?
Well, yeah, when we first started talking, after some few minutes, we introduced ourselves. She started telling me about her wars, the things she's going through, the trauma, the emotional pain, the isolation. She told me she has never been loved, she has never been cared for, she has never experienced the affection of a man. The first two men she had before, they mistreated her. The last one was even engaging in a physical fight with her. He couldn't drink from the same cup.
Right.
Um, she told me she passed hell. She passed through hell in the relationship, and at a family level, no one in the family believed her. Everyone thought she was delusional. They hated her. They mistreated her. They treated her as an outcast. And at the religious level, she told me the church also had turned their back on her. She told me how she visited a pastor and spoke about Illuminati and alien, and the pastor sent her away and recommended she visit a psychiatrist. So she told me a whole lot of things about her, how the society had rejected her, how she had no friend, and how she's alone in a very vast world. I was overwhelmed. I began to wonder how on earth someone could, go through all of this. And I myself, having been through a situation where I was knocked down by adversity and being cared for, being loved by those around me, seeing how, this love and care of those around me really helped me cope with my disability and my adversity. I felt the need to be there for her. So, in the first place, it was the shared experience that attracted me to her. My
Right.
first outlook towards her was born of sympathy and compassion.
So did you feel more of a friendship towards her in the beginning and then it turned romantic, or were your feelings always romantic?
No, in the first place, my first feelings towards her was the feeling of sympathy and compassion
Right,
because of the whole things she
right.
told me she was going through.
And then
But it was down the line
right.
that okay.
uh, and then it turned romantic for you at one point. And when did
Yes.
you communicate with her about your vow of celibacy? Because that was a big point of contention during the show.
Yeah, we had, I told you my first feelings toward her was born of sympathy and compassion.
Right,
So as we progress in our communication, affection began to brew. And after 2 weeks, she confessed love. She appreciated me for bringing joy my first my first feeling with Rene was first and foremost born out of sympathy and compassion because of the thing she told me she was going through. But down the way, as we communicated, um, affection began to brew.
right,
After 2 weeks, she confessed love, and I couldn't resist it. I consented, and you know,
right,
affection hits us in the sweet part of the brain where love blossomed, and a
right.
relationship began to flourish between us.
So then when did you communicate with her about your vow of celibacy?
Yes, it's interesting to know that um, when we first fell in love and when we first, had the relationship, we dated for 2 years. And
Right,
after the 2 years, we broke up.
right. And why did you guys break up?
Yes, you know, um, the first day after she had told me her bitter and agonizing experiences, I made a vow to Renee to always be there for her, to always be that one person she can always count on. And I followed through on that vow of mine. Every day I was there, calling her, encouraging her with words, strengthening her, helping her, rebuild her self-esteem. And there was no day that I wouldn't give a call to Renee.
Right,
So at some point, she asked me how I was able to raise the money to call her. She told me over there they pay bills for calls and all of that.
right, right,
And then I was a student. She was wondering how I could be able to keep up with, my regular calls with her. And she made a promise to support me with some certain amount, which was $100. So she sent me the $100 as a token of appreciation for all that I've done for her, which I am still grateful till today. So, and at some other point, she also showed the same love. So within that 2 years, the money she gave me totaled $350.
okay.
But at some point, she started demanding I leave my school to come over there to the States. And by then, I was in my second year in the university.
Oh, really?
I told
Okay.
her that this was not something I am willing to do. I
Oh,
told her to exercise patience for me to finish up, but she couldn't take that. You know, she said, I am selfish, I am ungrateful, that I can't sacrifice anything for her. And the sacrifice was what I couldn't make, which I told her outrightly that I have to finish up with my education here because a bird at hand is better than a million in the bush. And moreover, I wasn't the one that sent myself to school. My parents sent me to school. I disclosed all of this to her, hoping that she would have understood. But Renee is someone that doesn't seek to understand people or entertain other people's ideas and opinion. She flatly rejected my own point of view. She demanded I must leave my education.
Right.
So that was when we began to have a crack in the relationship, a crack which later turned into a chasm. And she started yelling, cursing, abusing, and it became toxic. We couldn't keep up. Down the way, we broke up.
Right.
So the relationship lasted for 2 years, and we broke up for like 3 years.
Okay. And then when did you hear back from her? What year?
Yeah, the last time, yes, I had back from Renee that 3 years later, that
Okay.
was 2023.
Okay.
She called me. She told me she finally had the opportunity to come see me in Nigeria, that she was coming with a TV crew. She made mention of the name TLC 90, before the 90 days. And she told me that she wanted to use this opportunity to see if we can make things work since we'll be meeting in person. Um, she wants to explore the opportunity to see if we can resolve our differences, those lingering differences and issues that tore us apart in the first place. And to me, it wasn't a bad idea. I gave her a second chance.
Okay. So during those 3 years that you and Renee weren't together, did you think about her? Did you think about maybe trying reaching out to her?
No, we moved on with our separate. We moved on our
Right.
separate ways. We went our separate ways.
So
Yeah,
were you surprised to hear from her 3 days, 3 years later?
I was shocked,
Right.
utterly shocked, when she called and asked for a back in my life.
Right. So, when she came out to Nigeria, what was your first impression of her?
Well, there is difference between someone you've been talking to on phone and someone you are seeing or meeting in person.
Right.
Though there were some red flags when we are still talking on phone, but I never got a full picture of whom she really is.
Right.
Then, if we are having issues or um, discrepancies, she would just end the call. You know,
Right. Exactly.
yeah.
Right. But now that you were face to face, she couldn't just end the call. And
Yes.
we're seeing more. When you refer to red flags, what were thinking back, what were some of the red flags that you just,
Oh, yeah. Some of the red flags I saw or discovered when we were still together during the first 2 years we dated was her nature of cussing and yelling and shouting, abuse, verbal abuse, being disrespectful to my opinion, to my ideas, to my desires. She had always wanted things to go her own way. She never respected my thoughts, and she just wanted me to capitulate to whatever she wanted.
right. So when she came back to you 3 years later, did you think maybe she had changed?
Yes, I raised the question. I asked her, I reminded her of some of those issues that tore us apart in the first place. She told me that she has changed, that we will use this opportunity to talk over those issues, which I believe then wasn't a bad idea.
Okay.
At least I had at least I had the opportunity to sit down with her and express those things I couldn't express back then, as she couldn't allow me.
Right. Um, so when you first started communicating with Renee, what did your family think?
Well, my family is the type that, yes, they love me, they care about me, and they want the best for me, but they don't like getting in my way. So long as I'm comfortable with something, so long as they see that, okay, this thing is something I want and I cherish, and they see that it's something that will give me happiness and joy and fulfillment, they will always support me.
Okay. How was the filming experience for you?
Well, the filming experience was exciting and also exhausting.
Yeah,
It wasn't
not a
it
lot.
wasn't
Long
an
days, right, Chidi? Very long days.
yeah, very long day. Sometimes there were times you leave early in the morning, you come back 11 p.m., 12 a.m. So it was a grueling exercise, but at the same time, rich and rewarding. But I didn't enjoy it, not because of the stress, but because of the abuse and constant yelling and um,
It-
causes of Rayne. Yeah.
What did you think was the central cause of conflict between you and Renee when she came to see you, when she was actually
Well, yes, I believe the central point or the central cause of conflict between us was that I refused having sex with her. She was crazy. This drove her crazy, and it was something she couldn't take. And she had wanted to control me, bend me to her will, but I wasn't ready for this. So
Now, did you tell her that you were not going to have sex with her before she came
I
to?
told Renee that I was not going to have sex before she came to Nigeria.
Okay.
The
Did
night I told Renee,
you were
she
going to be sleeping in a separate room before she came to Nigeria?
I told Renee too
Okay.
that I will not be sleeping together with her. The night I told her, she angrily ended the call on me. She called the producers and told them that she had someone else here in Nigeria, a blind guy by the name of Emmanuel. And she told them that she wanted to bring this blind guy to replace me, which the producers utterly declined, citing that this was not whom she told them about.
Right. Right.
And that same night, that Emmanuel called me too and asked me what was going on. That was how I got to know that Renee had already contacted him and asked him if he would be willing to come and be with him in Lagos. So I told her, and she angrily blocked me and called the producers and contacted the other guy.
And then when the producers told her no, she unblocked you basically because she had.
Yes, when the producers told her that they won't do this, um, the next day she unblocked me and we got started talking again. But the bottom line is that I told her. And the first time the producers contacted me, I made it known to them. They told me that they have no issue with that, that they don't infringe on people's faith and right, that they will respect my opinion and my that they will respect my values. Everyone was aware of
Right.
this.
Right. Um, so Chidi, there was a rumor that Renee got so out of control that production actually had to step in and provide some type of mental health services for her.
Yes, in the course of the show, Renee got out of hand to the shock of the producers because they never expected this. Can you
So,
hear me?
yes, I can hear you. Yes.
Yeah, Renee got out of hand. She made several threats on her life. She made several threats on my life. She made several threats on the life of the producers. She said if she didn't get what she wanted, she would kill herself and kill me.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, so there was palpable fear
Mhm.
everywhere, and they had to bring in a psychologist from the States to attend to us. I spoke with the psychologist because I was also scared of my own life. Everyone were all scared, and but she refused talking to the psychologist.
So is that why your story stopped filming so abruptly, basically?
Yes, the producers ended the production abruptly when when they discovered that Rene had issues. I'm sorry to say that, but that's the truth. I am not here today to spew hate against Renee. No, what Renee needs is not hate. She needs emotional help. What she needs is not attack, but psychological and psychiatric attention. And I appreciate the producers for helping in this regard during that tense period. Yeah, I think that was the major reason why they had to um, cut it all
Right,
short.
right. So during the season and after the season ended, Renee took to social media and she said a lot of nasty things about you and your family, and you remained quiet. Why did you choose to do that instead of striking back?
Well, I chose to remain silent because Renee, just as I said earlier on, what she needs is not attack. She needs psychological and psychiatric attention. And this is someone I have known. I know she was seeking for attention, and I was not ready to give it to her. And Renee is someone that lacks the ability to self reflect. She lacks the ability to introspect. She lacks accountability for her actions. She doesn't take responsibility or accountability for her actions. So she always seek to um, look for external factors to put blame on for her actions. She never take responsibility. So she thrives in chaos. And the reason why she always love chaos is in chaos, it is easier for her to always claim a victim. So when she claims victim, that will now help her to cast off blame on others rather than taking accountability. And this is someone that is morbidly insecure. I knew every post I made was a threat to her. Every picture I posted, every smile on my face was a threat to her. Every follower I had on my social media account was a threat to her. Everything, every success story of mine was a threat to her. She was just acting out of the impulses of jealousy and envy. I understood all of this. So it was not worth my time, you know. Moreover, my experience with her was just a brief chapter in my life.
Right.
I've gotten over her. I've moved on. I can't live in the past. My eyes, my hope, and my vision, everything about me is cast towards tomorrow. I'm not looking back.
Right.
So why spend my time in things that doesn't matter? And moreover, the things she spewed, they were all lies.
There you go. So on the show, Chidi, we saw Renee take you to another doctor who basically said that there was no hope. Have you seeked another second opinion?
Yes, after I was on the show, I had a plethora of recommendations from different parts of the world. People were sending me link about the land-breaking advancements that have been made in sciences, in medical sciences rather, in
Right.
the improvement of vision. So um, I got a lot of this information and encouragement of people from different parts of the world who advised me to, you know, still try again. And, having lived with visual impairment for 17 years and haven't grappled with the, debilitating effects, every little bit of this information and encouragement of people have a way of reinforcing your hope and rekindling your faith. Yes, to answer your question, I've had second thoughts and opinions.
A GoFundMe has been set up. Do you want to talk about more about the GoFundMe and the call?
Yes, I set up the GoFundMe to solicit for financial help because it's not something my family can do alone.
Right.
Yeah.
So have you spoken to a doctor in the United States about possible treatments?
Yes, I made several moves. Yeah, I've spoken some hospitals in United States, but um, it couldn't go through. But by the grace of God, I've been able to secure an appointment in the United Kingdom
Oh,
at Northfield Eye Hospital. And by the grace of God, before the middle of this year, I will be going to United Kingdom for this advanced medical prognosis.
that is
There
fantastic.
were a lot of things we considered in the US. One was the cost of health over there and the immigration process and all of that.
Right.
We at some point discovered that UK will be easier and cost of medication there is lesser than what you've got in the States.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. The States, unfortunately, has one of the highest costs of healthcare. So,
Yeah, we discovered that much later.
yeah. Chidi, are there resources and support for you in your community outside of your family?
That's a very interesting question. Yeah, there are, but they are limited.
Right.
They are limited resources, but ever since I re up the large chunk of help and support I have got is from my family and some other few individuals who sponsored my education, who supported my education when I was at the university. But institutionally, it is minimal.
Right. Do you mind telling us about your routine every day, like your daily routine?
Here, currently, I'm running my master's postgraduate program in social work.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I had my first degree in sociology, and right now I am almost done with my master's in social work. So, since last year, most of my days and time have been, academic stuffs, and
Right.
I've been writing my books, which I'll be releasing soon.
Yes,
And
I
by the
want
grace
to
of God,
talk about
this year,
your book. Yeah.
yeah. So this year I got a teaching job in a high school here. So I am now a teacher teaching in a high school. So these are some of the things, that I preoccupy my time with. But apart from these stuffs, I also have my leisure time when I go out with friends. Sometimes we do go to the beach, and I attend a lot of church services. Apart from Sunday services, we have weekly services too.
Right.
And I read a lot. I listen to news a lot, and I have a good time with friends.
Oh. What you teach in high school, do you teach a particular subject?
Yes, I teach government.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes, I teach government in the high school. Yeah, and it's not a blind school. It's a regular school. Like,
Right, right.
sighted students. Yeah.
Right. Were there any misconceptions on the show about you that you want to clear up?
Yeah, quite a handful of them. One is the issue of not telling Renee that I will not be sleeping with her, which I've explained earlier on. The truth is that I told Renee that I will not be sleeping with her.
Right,
And about the GoFundMe, yeah, some people raise concern and ask questions, but you know, this is what is so dear to me. Even if I go and I couldn't succeed, I will take consolation that the opportunity I had, I was able to utilize it. I
exactly.
still believe in miracle. I I believe. that hope is the last thing one can ever lose in
Right.
life. And concerning the foundation I set up, people also raise concern. As the first blind person on TLC, there's no experience more rich and rewarding than to use this opportunity to um, also help those that share the same experience with me.
Right.
So
That
I
was
just
actually
want to use
going
this
to be my next
opportunity and
question.
platform to promote. Can you hear me?
As the yes, as the first blind person on TLC on 90 Day Fiance, what message do you want to get across to the fans?
Yes. I want to tell my fans that your adversity doesn't stop you. It is you that can stop yourself. There is a light within each and every one of us that can help us see even when the night is darkest. You can be wherever you want to be in life. You can be whatever you want to be in life, so long as you believe in yourself and you believe and trust in the Lord. Because He made a promise to lead the blind by ways we do not know, to guide us along unfamiliar paths, and to turn the darkness into light before us. Believe in yourself and trust in God. With these two things, you can get to anywhere in life, regardless of what you are going through.
That is very good advice, Chidi. Very good advice. Would you consider seeking love again online, or did Renee totally ruin it for you?
Well, love is such a beautiful thing that we can never have enough of, and which we can never give enough of. So, I have a lot of love in me that I want to give out, and I also crave for love. I can't give up on love. I can't because someone out there um, treated me so badly, gave up on love. No, I know there are still wonderful people out there who are genuine, who are respectful, who are appreciative. So, yes, I am open to being in a date and in
What are you
finding
seeking
love.
in a woman? Like, what's the qualities that draw you to a woman romantically?
Well, I am not looking for a perfect woman, but all I'm just looking for, all I just need is someone that will appreciate me, love me, and, you know, hear me out. Someone I can build my future with. I don't need much, but just someone that will recognize that I'm a human being, that I have the right for happiness, that I have the right to express my thoughts, my opinion, and my feelings.
Right.
Someone that also,
And
fears God. And
also someone that respects your family.
yes, and also someone that respects my family and respect my value system,
Right.
even though we have divergent um, outlooks to life, and someone that we also respect my religion and my faith.
Yes. Yes.
Someone that believes in unity of the family, not someone that would tear me apart or yank me away from my family, and someone that will build a bridge, not a divider, not a destroyer.
I want to ask you, was the tension between Victoria and Renee as bad as we've seen on TV, worse, behind the scenes?
Um, the only time they had this physical altercation was when she was about leaving and at the market. Apart from that,
Right.
there there were no other altercations. But I must say this: Renee was worse than what people saw on the TV. I think the producers, they did a great deal of concealing some of her excesses, and which I appreciate them for.
Right.
If they had really showed whom Renee is and the things she did, nobody would have watched that show. And I appreciate them for this.
Do you want to talk about an example of what happened that they didn't show? Something that Renee did that they didn't show?
There were quite a whole lot of them. Renee was extremely violent to the extent they couldn't even allow the both of us to. stay alone, whether in the car, in the house. There was 24/7 surveillance on us because there was this apprehension and palpable fear that she could either harm herself or me or some other person. She made several wild threats, as I said earlier, on her life and the life of others. It was a very dangerous situation.
Wow.
Dangerous. When I say dangerous, it was dangerous.
If Renee would happen to be listening to us right now, do you have a message for her?
Yes, I want to tell Renee that Renee, nobody has caused your problem. I think, Renee, you are the problem of yourself. And how are you the problem of yourself? You don't want to take accountability. You don't want to self reflect. You don't want to work on yourself. No. For how long will you continue like this, casting blame on others? Look at what she's doing, going about spreading all sort of nonsense against me, all in the name to present herself as a good person. No, Renee needs help. Renee, you need help. Renee, you need help. Seek for help. And I am using this opportunity to call on well meaning individuals out there. Please don't look at what she's doing. This is a damaged and broken person that needs help. She needs help. She needs psychological and psychiatric help. I was willing to sacrifice my safety, my joy, and everything to see how I could give this woman help. But unfortunately, I couldn't. But I know that there's someone out there
Right.
who can
That can help her.
still, yes, help. She needs help. She needs help. And before she came to Nigeria, even while she was here in Nigeria, and after she left, I behind all her yells and constant abuse and bad character, behind or beneath all her posts and accusations against me, all I see is a broken person, a damaged person that needs love, that needs care, that needs help.
Um,
Posting or saying awful things about me will not help Renee.
right,
What will help Renee is working on herself and her children too. They need care. They
right,
need care. For instance, when after she left Nigeria, she contacted me that um the daughter ran away from the house. I don't know if they found her now. So I believe those children needs attention. They need care. This time she's spending online ranting nonsense that aren't true. I believe if she can be able to work on herself and um, spend it on her children, it will
right,
be a time
right.
well spent.
Exactly. Exactly. Chidi, where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
Yes, by the grace of God, this year I'll be done with my master's.
Right,
And already I am teaching in a high school, but I want to work my way up. I want to teach in a tertiary institution, whether it is college or university. Yeah, I want to become a lecturer, and I want to also invest more in my foundation as God blesses me and provides resources. I want to expand the scope of my foundation to reach out to the blind persons who
right.
really need help in this part of the world. Yeah.
So before I let you go, do you have a final message for the fans? Do you have anything else that you want to get off your chest?
Yes, I want to first and foremost thank my fans for how incredible they've been. Thank you so much, my awesome fans, for your immense support, for your lockstep care and concerns and support. You've been wonderful. I appreciate you. God bless you. I am proud to have you as my fans, and I promise to be a better person. The show really opened my eyes to discover so many strengths in me and to discover so many of my weaknesses. So, and by the grace of God, I've learned a lot and have become stronger, wiser, and more empathetic to others in similar circumstances. So, I hope moving forward to become a better person for you all. And before I go, there is this accusation of Rayne. I also want to clarify. She said before she came, I was sexting her, sending erotic messages to her. No, this is not true. This is a lie from the pit of hell. I never, ever sexted her. I told her that I would not be sleeping with her. Coming to visit me was something she concocted herself. She came on her own volition.
Right,
The time she applied for the show, she never told me before God and man. The only day I got to know about TLC was the day she called me. When she was even telling me about TLC and before then, I was confused. I didn't know what she was talking about.
right,
I was not under any pressure to let her come or to manipulate her to come in to see me. No, this is something she decided on her own. I never sexted her. She fabricated that message. It's just a simple thing, Mary. I can just get two phones, create two accounts, and use your picture and your name to create a Facebook or WhatsApp account and start chatting myself. She fabricated it. I never sexted her. That's not true. How will I tell her that I will not be sleeping with her and at the same time I will be sexting her? No, she did all this. She fabricated all of this in the name of tearing me down, in the name of, seeking to poison people's mind against me. But I don't care. Many of the things she posted about me against me, they are all lies. She said I asked her for her mom's credit card, which was also lies. What happened, when we first met, when we were discussing about the possibility of coming to the States, over there, if you are bringing someone, you have to show an evidence that you are able to take care of that person for like 10 years.
right,
And Rayne doesn't work, but she told me that her mom had the financial capability. So I told her, okay, since your mom had maybe you can tell her she can, um, become my sponsor, right? And if you apply for the visa, you have to present a financial evidence that you are able or capable to take care of this person. That was what happened.
right,
After we broke up, she dated three more people from Nigeria. One guy they call Nonso, the other guy they call Patrick, and the last one, Emmanuel, the blind guy. After we broke up, the next thing she started telling them was that I was a scammer, that I wanted to scam her, that I was evil, that I asked for her mom's credit card. You understand?
right. So there
That
was
was
another guy, Patrick, too. I never heard of Patrick. I heard of Emmanuel, but I didn't hear about a Patrick.
come again.
Was there two guys? That there was the Emmanuel. Was there someone else as well?
Yes, there were other two people she dated before she dated Emmanuel, yes. So she was telling them that I wanted to scam her, saying also the same things she's parroting now. These were the same things she was telling them. And those ones they contacted me because they knew me, they knew my family, they were shocked. They told me, see, guy, watch out. This is what this woman is spreading against. This is what the woman is spreading against you and about you. I had to send her a message one and seriously want her to stop castigating me and spoiling my name. That
Right.
was the first 2 years we dated. The same things she's saying now about me was the same things she told those guys.
When you
And
broke up.
if I am evil, wicked, as she's claiming today, if I am a scammer, why then, after 3 years, did she have to come back to me? Why didn't she stick with those guys she dated in the first place? Why did she have to come back to me? Which is to tell you that this woman is a pathological liar. She knew I was genuine. She knew I meant well for her. She knew I really cared about her. But in her wickedness and in her morbid insecurity, because she's extremely jealous and envious of what God is doing in my life, she just wants to, put me down and, discredit me and poison people's mind.
Right. Well, Chidi, I could tell you that we weren't poisoned against you. A lot of the fans were Team Chidi from the very beginning. We saw how abusive Renee was and can be. So, a lot of the fans were totally on your side, and I'm sorry that you had to go through what you did with Renee, and I hope that didn't poison your view of American woman because we are all not like Renee Chidi. Please take my word for it. I'm afraid that she poisoned your views against American women.
No, no, no. Ever since I've been on the show, I've met with great friends. Americans are one of the greatest people I've ever seen. They are generous, they are kind, they are compassionate. No, she can't. She can't poison my view because Renee, she's unique in herself.
Yes, she is. Renee is very unique. That she is.
So
That's
this is not it's not a normal situation. I understand.
right, right. Well, Chidi, thank you so much for joining me today. Um, if you don't have anything else to say, do you have anything else that you want to clear up or
Well, Renee is my past.
right,
I've moved on,
right.
and I know the best is yet to come.
Exactly. Yes, it is best to come.
So the only
So,
advice I'll have for her is for her to work on herself. She's the problem of herself. The earlier she realized this, the better for her.
right,
I'm not her problem. I'm not her problem, and I can never be her problem. This is where I met her. Last 5 years when I met her, this is how she was groveling, crying, belly aching, whining, how she had been forsaken, treated badly, how everyone thought she was delusional, casting blames on others.
right,
So it's not a new thing, it's a cycle. I just pray she one day breaks this cycle.
right.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much, Chidi, for joining me. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and have a great day, everyone. Bye.
Bye. Take care. Bye.